Hi folks, and welcome to Windows in the Cloud, our new tech series dedicated to Windows 365 for IT pros like yourself. So today I'm joined by Microsoft PM Navneet Ramkrishnan that owns everything related to monitoring and ensuring the performance of your Cloud PC environment in episode number 5 of Windows in the Cloud. So hi Navneet, how are you doing?
Hey Christian, doing great. Excited to be here. Thank you for the chance, and I'm looking forward to talking about monitoring today.
Yeah, it's one of those very important topics that is not always shown very well. So I'm great. It's great to have you here and have this as a topic on the show here because it is very important and you will show everything the audience need to know during this episode. So I'm very excited to have you. But before we kick into that, can you tell a little bit more about yourself and your role within Microsoft?
Absolutely. So, as you mentioned, I'm a PM on the monitoring, analytics, reporting, and supportability team within Windows 365. Prior to this, I worked in the Azure team, where I spent some time building features around VM update velocity, VM performance, and rebootless Windows updates.
Yeah, I know, of course, what you did before. And I heard as well that you were part of the Windows Images, Windows Services and Deployment team, right? So that's very excited to hear. So you can incorporate all those experiences into Cloud PC. And that's where we worked on together as well, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I think it was a great learning working on the Windows team, getting the VM images up, and we've tried to bring the same best practices within Windows 365 in the image management experience as well.
Exactly. So let's switch gears a little bit, and the audience know what Windows 365 Cloud PC is. If you are new to this show as well as Windows 365 Cloud PC, please check out one of the previous episodes with, for example, Scott Manchester to get a full introduction on the product as well as the new features lined up. But this episode is really to talk about like endpoint analytics and monitoring. So can you share a little bit with the audience what endpoint analytics is as a product feature?
Absolutely. So if you're a Microsoft Endpoint Manager, then you get access to Endpoint Analytics, which is an inbuilt tool that helps you to proactively optimize the end user experience and track your progress along the way. There are multiple reports here. This is applicable to both physical devices and Windows 365 Cloud PCs. But for Windows 365 Cloud PCs, we have a set of unique reports available as well. So we'll dig into some of that during the show. But think of it as, hey, this is my one-stop place as an IT administrator to track any sort of metrics around my physical devices and Cloud PCs.
Yeah, the great thing to highlight here is as well that Windows 365 has been built during COVID when everybody was working remotely, hybrid. Some of the team members even never met each other. And it really emphasizes how this product came together and what kind of scenarios it addresses. And as well from the monitoring perspective, it can monitor the physical environment and as well the Cloud PC environment at one single pane of glass, right? Can you tell a little bit more about that new way of working and new way of monitoring?
You mentioned that this team was built in remote and we built the product in remote as well. And that kind of got us a lot of empathy for our users as well. So in hybrid working, whenever I think of hybrid working, like your tools are very important so you can put out your best work. And this also makes IT's role like super important, more important than ever. I think you actually set me up with this question. So within the monitoring and analytics team, our primary goal is to make the IT admin the superstar by specifically providing proactive monitoring and product flexibility. So we want to give IT admins intelligent insights to help them go and help the end user, reduce like IT burden and improve total cost of ownership. And we do this by focusing on like three main principles, right? So one is we help admins keep a pulse on end user experience. How is the experience they're having? What kind of issues they're having? Then insights on how to fix those issues before the users report it. How do we help IT admins just look at one pane of glass, look at different reports, but get everything they need to know about the user and then optimize IT spend? On day one, when you come into Endpoint Analytics, you have reports on your end user performance. And then the last piece is flexibility, right? As an IT admin, you're making a lot of decisions, but user needs change over a period of time. So giving you an opportunity to quickly react on that based on options like resize, ML-based insights, that's kind of our long-term goal as well.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And that as well connects to where customers want to be in like today and as well near-term future, right? Like built-in monitoring and as well as proactive monitoring. That's like part of the digital transformation moving forward, right? You don't want to be last in line when a problem occurs in your environment, because then you're sort of lacking in end user experience, right? So how does endpoint analytics in Windows 365 helps with that?
Yeah, exactly. I think, like you said, you want to know before so that you don't have multiple tickets pile on you. And whenever we talk to customers, we hear a need for out of the box inbuilt monitoring capabilities. So once you get your users, cloud PCs or physical devices, you need to keep taking a look at them as needed or get pointers to when you should be looking at them. And it also helps you then take these reports and share with your management. So we've built a lot of these reports based on what we're hearing from admins. So when I talk to Windows 365 admins, the things they tell me they want to see over here are connections, more data on connections. How does the end user log into their device? What's that experience? What kind of performance are they having on their devices? What does the usage look like? And they want to know all this real time, so they're ahead of the game. So we're trying to provide a lot of this. So a couple of these are already built and out there, which we'll show you later today. And some of them are in the process of being built out.
That's great to hear. And one of the other great things we definitely need to highlight is that everything is integrated in Microsoft Endpoint Manager, right? As well as free of charge, right? It's integrated in the license. Can you tell a little bit more about that?
If you buy a Windows 365 Cloud PC license, you get access to Microsoft Endpoint Manager, and this is in the enterprise product. You get access to Microsoft Endpoint Manager. With Endpoint Manager, you also have Endpoint Analytics. And this is more than just the physical reports that you get. So with Cloud PC, you have the resource performance and the remoting connection reports specifically built for your Cloud PCs. And you also get the other 4 reports that Endpoint Analytics has to monitor your physical devices and Cloud PCs. So it's a lot of goodness packaged together.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And can you elaborate a little bit on the piece on what is specifically created as a feature on top of Endpoint Analytics to highlight the performance inside your Windows 365 Cloud PC?
Yeah, so we took a look and said, what are the most important metrics you need to know for your Cloud PC? And what's the unique value we can provide for a Cloud PC compared to a physical device? And 2 points kind of came to mind. One being, whenever you think about end user experience, it's all about how quickly can they sign into their desktop, how quickly can they get to doing their tasks. And the other is the quality of their connections. So keeping these 2 things in mind, we built the remoting connection report. The other thing is performance on these devices. With a physical device, you're kind of limited to go and improve performance. But with the flexibility we provide, like a Cloud PC, we wanted to provide admins with all the metrics they can take a look at and see how is performance. Are there CPU spikes? Are there RAM spikes? Is the device still meeting the needs of the end user? And that's how we came up with the resource performance report, which takes a look into CPU spikes and RAM spikes. So these are the new reports we have as part of Windows 365 in Endpoint Analytics.
Yeah, one of the things that is integrated in that is as well log-on duration checks, right? You can exactly see how fast users can log on, what is causing delays and things like that, right?
You're referring to the sign-in time on remoting connection. So you can look into the breakdown phases, how much time is spent in remoting sign-in, how much time is spent in the core boot, how much time is spent in the core sign-in. And then you can also look at a list of recommendations which we're consistently improving to help the IT admin go and take some actions on these metrics. And you can look at this tenant-wide. You can look at this at a particular device to troubleshoot. And there are a lot of actions you can do to get out of that situation.
And that's great, and that's to ensure the performance, but there are as well integrations for doing update management. Like, for example, a lot of customers are looking to upgrade to Windows 11. What do we have for them in Endpoint Analytics?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. So Windows 11 came out last year, and we've built this report called Work from Anywhere within Endpoint Analytics. And within this report, you can go in, you can take a look at your Windows estate that you're managing, physical devices or cloud PCs, and see if they meet the performance requirements for Windows 11. Do they have the appropriate hardware? If you have a physical device, you can then take a look at your hardware and see if you want to refresh it. For Windows 365 Cloud PCs, we make it a little more simple. Since we are managing your Cloud PCs, we have access to hardware that's compatible for Windows 11. So you can go take a look at it, and we go and categorize the devices based on whether they've already been upgraded, are they eligible for an upgrade or they are not? So if you have a cloud PC that's not eligible for the upgrade, I would say don't worry about it. Just click on that device and you should be able to fix this within your provisioning policy. Take the device to Windows 11 and re-provision the device, and it will get you on supported hardware and Windows 11. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah, that's a great call out that Windows 365 is ready for Windows 11, no matter what endpoint device you have. So if you are a customer provisioning your Cloud PC before the 28th of September, you might have to re-provision because that brings you the TPM and secure boot capabilities and such. But after that moment, or you start today, you don't have to worry. You're ready for Windows 11. So that's a great integration and call out here. And I know there's like a resize integration to bump up your resize resources of your Cloud PC as well. But I want to stop with like going over them because I really want to see it, right? So I know you prepared some demos. So can you show the audience everything you just explained in real life as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's jump into the demos now. Now you can see that I'm on Microsoft Endpoint Manager's Admin Center and within Reports and Endpoint Analytics. So here we are on the tenant-wide view for Endpoint Analytics. You can see a couple things here. You can see scores, you can see baselines, you can see multiple metrics and the scoring on them. So the reports that are available for all devices are startup performance, proactive remediation, application reliability, and work from anywhere. The bonus reports you get with your Windows 365 license is the resource performance and remoting connection. On the screen, you can see how you're performing across different metrics. You can set up your own baseline, or else you can view the baseline that's set across organizations of your size. You can scope it down to just your cloud PCs. So you can do a bunch of things over here. Let's actually jump into the resource performance report now. So we were speaking about this earlier, but this report essentially tells you what's the utilization of CPU and RAM. So those are our two main metrics here where we monitor spike time to give you a good sense of how your devices are performing. This tenant seems to be pretty green on it. It's meeting goals. It's doing really well. You can also see a daily metric trend over here where you can track it for the last 30 days. All this is the tenant-wide view. We also have insights over here. So some devices seem to have above average spike times, and we'll let you upgrade those devices. This is what we were referring to as the resize flexibility. So you can upgrade your device to a higher license or downgrade to lower licenses as needed. Apart from looking at it tenant-wide, we also help you take one more pivot based on your license, number of devices. So here you can see the different types of licenses, 2 virtual CPUs, 4 virtual CPUs, and correlate performance with that. If you want to go one click deeper, you can even look at it at the device level and troubleshoot. Let's jump into the remoting connection report now. Here we have like two main metrics, round trip time and sign-in time. So we wanted to help you monitor the quality of connections as well as the time it takes for an end user to connect. So here you can see values like P95. So you're not only looking at median, but the tail and looking at how can you optimize it. You can also look at your median scores and we provide a rating. If you see the daily metric here, you can see that it's continually improving and has been better over the last couple of days. Sign-in time, like I mentioned earlier, also has a couple of click-throughs. So you can go look into remoting sign-in, which is the phase your users will most likely encounter. Core boot and core sign-in are not as significant hits on your time. So you can look at it similarly, P95 median, and then see how you want to optimize it. Here too, you have your insights and recommendations. So we can see that 7 devices don't have the greatest round trip time, and you can estimate the connection so you can understand how to optimize RTT. And you can also look at our network guidelines to go improve this. We're also working on providing more insights for this report. So now let's actually switch gears from monitoring performance into the updates world. So we spoke about Windows 11 and how we have a report that'll help you look into your devices eligible. So if you go to the Work From Anywhere report, it has a score and it also has this Windows capability that we've added. So if you click on this capability, you'll be able to look at your device estate, understand how many of your devices are ready for Windows 11, but also understand the top hardware blockers. So if you see the top hardware blockers, it's TPM and system firmware. And as Christian mentioned earlier, we have this for Cloud PCs by default. So all your Cloud PC devices, if provisioned after September 28, will be eligible for Windows 11. But let's say you provisioned your devices before that. So let's come here. Here you can see the readiness status. Let's filter down to just Cloud PCs. You can see that you have a bunch of devices that have already been upgraded. Some of them that are capable. But today, let's look at the ones that are not capable. So I'm going to filter this out to devices that are not capable. And now I can see a list of devices. Let's pick one particular device of Connie, and we see the reason is TPM and system firmware. So let's copy this device name and jump into the devices blade and within our Windows 365 environment. So now we are here within Windows 365. Awesome. So now we're on Cloud PCs. Let's look for Connie over here. We can see that Connie's device is assigned to the Netherlands policy and has a Win10 enterprise image. Let's double check if the provisioning policy has already moved to Windows 11 or we need to change it. So let's search for Netherlands here. Okay, so we can see that the admin has already updated this policy. So it means that Connie's device is the only one on Windows 10. We can easily fix this. So let's go to Connie's device page. We know that Connie here is on a Windows 10 device, but their policy is Windows 11. So a simple reprovision will take Connie to the Windows 11 image on their policy. While we're here, I wanted to talk about one more functionality we spoke about earlier, which is our product flexibility promise, and we provide that through resize. So let's say this user is not having the most ideal performance. You have a pointer here to get them onto a higher grade Cloud PC as well. Based on their needs, you can either give them more virtual CPU or RAM, or you can also play with the storage. And all you need to do is a quick click on resize and confirm. I also want to mention here that admins can make the decision from the device blade, or else we also provide a pointer to this through the resource performance report. So in the resource performance report, if we notice a device having high memory spike or RAM spikes, we do recommend resizing as an option to give the user the best end user experience. So clicking on the resize prompt over there will get you to this page and you can complete this action.
That's great. And one thing to call out here is the great work by the feature team, Abraham, as well as Nandita, all the hard work here. Great stuff. And one other thing to call out here is that the resize feature will not like reset your operating system disk or applications or profile or whatsoever. So it just all remains the same. So on top of that, like we listen to customers, we hear feedback. So what's coming up? What's new? What's like the roadmap coming after this? All this like exciting stuff that you just showed.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. Whenever we talk to customers, we hear two things. We hear, hey, we need more reporting on all that you have today, but real time. And we also want more details on usage, connectivity. So we're investing in some of those work streams. And to keep our proactive promise true, we're coming up with this new alerting framework that we hinted at in Ignite. Today, I'll kind of walk you through some of the mocks on the alerting framework and also give you some more context on what we're building towards usage. So here we go. This is the alerting framework that we're building out for admins. The goal over here is to proactively provide you feedback. So today, there are lots of Windows 365 objects that you might be interested in, but to monitor their state, you need to come into mem and look if they're broken and then go to act on it. With this alerting framework, we're letting you build rules, thresholds, select objects that you want to monitor, and then be notified of it outside of mem as well. So you could say that I'm interested in monitoring my on-prem network connection, and when it fails and has possible impact on hundreds of devices, then send me an email so I can come and fix it. So let me kind of walk you through the mock so you can see a user scenario play. So here you see you have alerts. A lot of alerts have fired, and you have one on-prem network connection failure. So in this particular case, your AAD domain join checks have failed, and this blocks access to on-prem resources for 300 plus Cloud PCs. So in this case, we fire an alert. You can see it within your mem portal, but you'll also have an email that pops in your inbox that will lead you just right here. Not only do we tell you something is broken, we provide you the report you can go and look into and fix this as well. Okay, granted, that's good, but you're like, hey, I want to go and tweak this rule a little bit. I want to make it work better for me. So you can just navigate to the rules window and then click on this particular rule that fired. So here you have the option to go and set the threshold and say, well, 10% may not be right for me. I want to go get it to 50%. Or you can say, well, I want to sort it by a number of Cloud PCs. So we'll provide you that Dropbox option. You can set the severity on this, and you can either turn on or turn off this alert. Add a couple of email addresses you want to be notified on. If you think you'll benefit from a portal pop-up, then you can get the notification here as well. And we will also add support for text as we go forward. But this is the entire alerting experience. Now I'm going to jump gears and talk about what are some new reports we're going to be building within Endpoint Analytics. So a couple things on our radar is, one, we've been hearing customers ask a lot about, it's great that we know about performance and connectivity. It would be nice to have some more real-time metrics. And the other thing we hear customers talking about is we want to understand usage. Granted, we understand performance, we understand how many Cloud PCs we've provisioned, but now we want to go and take a look at utilization on that. So we're going to make it easier to understand usage on Cloud PCs so that you can identify dormant and underutilized devices and then reutilize those licenses on different devices if you need. That's all I have for today. And it's been amazing walking you through all this work that we have coming up and the work that we've done so far.
Yeah, thanks, Navneet. And just for the audience, if they, on top of this like exciting new stuff, want to provide more feedback, feature requests and such, where can they go to?
Tech community is something we always monitor. You can get there by aka.ms/w365 feedback. So we monitor that. You can upvote your requests and we'll take a look at that.
So how can people stay in touch with you if you have any updates to share on social media, for example?
I'm pretty active on Twitter, so you can catch me on Navneet_MSFT on Twitter and start conversations, send me feedback, and I would love to hear from you all.
So thank you, Navneet, for being our 5th guest already. And thank you for watching Windows in the Cloud again. And hopefully you will come back next time. So please go to ak.ms/Windows in the Cloud to see our future episodes. And please check out my social media channel as well at brink_of_c. And we'll hope to see you next time. So thank you all.